All right, Lions have lost to the Eagles 16-9 in a pretty tough one there. Definitely a game where the Lions probably should have won. And I think if you haven't gone for it on fourth down as much, this would be a game where you probably would have gotten it. But it's kind of tough with how the last few years have gone. Going for it on fourth down has won us a lot of games. Throughout the last few years, definitely under like the Dan Campbell era, it has been a big reason we have won a lot of close games going for it on fourth down. But when you go for it on fourth down, if you don't get it, you're basically going to lose those games. So it is kind of a tough proposition there. If you're not converting, obviously your play calling is not good enough or your offensive line can't hold up like today. You're just not going to win those games. But for me, I don't really think the play calling was the problem today. Probably it was more the offensive line. Pretty much anytime Jared Goff dropped back, he was under pressure quick. Especially in the first half, he was getting hit a lot. And then there in the second half, he was really flustered a little bit and definitely missing some open throws when he actually had time. There were quite a few plays to St. Brown where it was just a little off, would have been a big play, and just did not quite connect. But yeah, ultimately, I really think the offensive line was the reason we lost the game today. Just could not hold up in pass protection. It was really tough there versus Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and all those guys they have. And also, Jalen Phillips was really good today for the Eagles. He beat Penei Sewell a few times one-on-one. And one of those plays was a fourth down play on the goal line where they were trying to get it to St. Brown. Did have Brock Wright open on that play too, but just could not get it to him as the defender was kind of in the way. That pass really would have been impossible with the defender in front of Jared Goff there. So yeah, Penei Sewell doesn't quickly lose that block versus Jalen Phillips. I think we actually score there on that fourth down try in the goal line. And yeah, that was in the third quarter. Now, the Eagles offense also had some troubles. So the Lions offense was 3 for 13 on third down, 0 for 5 on fourth down. Eagles offense was actually 4 of 15 on third down and 0 for 1 on fourth down. So yeah, the Eagles have had a few of these games this year where the offense is just not really clicking and not really consistently getting first downs. They might just get a few big plays to win the game at the end, but really not looking like a cohesive unit throughout the game. And that was kind of the case today, I feel like, for the Eagles. Yeah, so they put together one touchdown drive there in the second quarter right after the Lions scored with a big play to Jameson Williams. That was a nice play. Jameson running away from defenders. But yeah, Eagles score on their next drive. And other than that, they had 3 field goal drives, one set up by an interception in the first quarter. That was a deflected pass. But yeah, then you had 2 other field goals from the Eagles where the Lions went for it in their own territory, didn't get it. Setting up the Eagles with short field, and the Lions were able to hold them to field goal attempts there. But yeah, really just not really the Eagles offense doing good there, just the Lions not converting and then giving the ball to the Eagles, really close to field goal territory already. And yeah, that one interception was off of Jordan Davis deflection, I believe. Jordan Davis had 3 deflections today. Jalen Carter 2 deflections, and those are just incredibly valuable plays. Really, those are like defensive stops, and a lot of times they can turn them into interceptions. Now, the Lions actually almost had one of these plays as well. There was a play where Thomas Harper almost got to one, it looked like, somewhere in the first half, but yeah, it's just unfortunate that happened so many times and ended some drives for the Lions definitely with those deflections. And yeah, really for the Eagles offense, it was just a few draw plays from Jalen Hurts, a couple nice runs from Saquon Barkley, and then A.J. Brown picking up a couple first downs with some comeback routes and stuff like that. And other than that, Jalen Hurts made a couple nice throws when scrambling. Definitely the one near the goal line where they're almost getting a safety. He gets it to Josh Jackson on the right side for a nice play while he's moving there. That was a really nice throw. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the Eagles offense. There wasn't a lot to be had there. And the Lions were doing a really good job in man coverage with both of their receivers, really just not letting guys deep behind them. And yeah, they had a couple opportunities with like a wheel route from Saquon Barkley, and Jalen just didn't quite hit him in stride. But other than that, there really weren't a lot of like coverage busts or guys just running open downfield. The Lions defense did a really good job covering, and also I felt like their front guys. Definitely the defensive line played insanely well. Yeah, Lee McNeil, Tyleik Williams, Lopez, and Lacey, all four of those guys really did some really good things stopping the run and also versus the pass, getting after Jalen Hurts and making him get rid of it before he wanted to. Obviously, they only converted for 15 third downs. Quite a few plays there where they had nothing open, didn't have time to get it out, and had to, punt. And on top of that, probably one of the more interesting parts of this game was the tush push. Now, the Eagles converted one for a touchdown, but they actually were stopped on this play 3 times. They got less than a yard. And then that one time on 4th and inches there in the fourth quarter, the Lions actually stop him for a short loss. As you see there in the top right, that was the play. Very close, but they said he didn't get it. And the angle of this camera makes it look like he got it, but this camera was actually positioned behind him a little bit. When they put it down the sideline, it definitely looked like it was a little short. And that's pretty crazy. The Lions basically got a stop on this play 3 out of 4 times. And I'm not really sure if this is something with alignment they were doing or whatnot. I'd have to, look on Twitter and see what people are saying. But it looked like they kind of had like 3 guys right in the middle and just, did not allow that initial surge pretty much. And they were able to get Hurts going over the top here and keep him from converting. So that was pretty interesting. The Eagles run this play in their own territory with not a lot of time left on 4th and inches. Obviously, it's a play they've been like 90% converting all season, But this allows the Lions to kick a field goal and definitely get back in this game. And it definitely could have been the reason the Eagles lost this game because this play, not converting there and giving the Lions a chance to go score with not a lot of time left, giving them an extra chance to score, obviously. And other than that, we really have to talk about the last important play of the game. It was a pass interference called on Rock Ya-Sin playing man coverage versus A.J. Brown. And yeah, this one was just really bad. It was really good coverage on this play, and actually A.J. Brown's the one who's pushing off here with his right arm. They throw a flag on Rock Ya-Sin there. Just perfect coverage. There's really nothing he could have done differently there. He did a great job on that play, and that's picture perfect man coverage, what you want to do versus those kind of comeback routes there in single coverage. And Rock Ya-Sin did a really good job all game. A lot of tight coverage plays with similar plays like this where it was contested. And A.J. Brown made a few plays, but I think Rock Ya-Sin played really well. And yeah, that's definitely frustrating, a call like that not going our way, but us Lions fans are very, very used to that. Not going to be too upset about it. I know the refs definitely get some plays wrong here and there. But this is one where I feel like they should have probably looked at the replay and been like, wow, yeah, that is not defensive pass interference. If anything, it's offensive. And that would have gotten the ball back. I believe this was on 3rd and 6. So Lions would have gotten the ball back. And yeah, who knows if the Lions actually score there. They haven't really put a drive together since the second quarter. But obviously there's a chance. And it's a frustrating situation there that we didn't get the ball back. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you. Pretty tough game. I feel like the Lions should have won. And it's really just we didn't convert those 4th downs. And obviously all those 3rd downs, just offensive line could not hold up. I don't really think that's our offensive line being terrible. I think the Eagles are just a really well-built team, and they have a lot of really good players on the defensive line, and they make it really tough to try and block all those guys one-on-one, and we just could not do that today at all. And, yeah, Jared Goff was under a lot of pressure, and Jared Goff just cannot move when he's under pressure. He's not going to be able to make a lot of those throws, so that's pretty much why we lost the game. But you got to pour it out for the defense. Lions defense played incredibly well today. Again, Calvin Shepard showing that he is an incredible defensive coordinator. And, yeah, hopefully the Lions can turn this around very soon because we are currently 3rd in the division right now, and there are a lot of teams in the NFC right now with 6 or 7 wins, and it's going to be a tight race, it's looking like, for the wild card. It's not going to be a guarantee just to get in the playoffs, I think. Obviously, we could still win the division, but we are currently in 3rd place, half a game behind the Packers and a game behind the Bears. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. We'll catch you in the next one.